In this video, we're going to take a closer look at using the print command. Again, we're going to give you some more options, some more printing options. We're also going to take a look at escape characters, and we're going to take a look also at a closer look at variable names, or how to use variables in a different way than what we've looked at previously. So to get started, we can type in print, and we can type in something like this: 1, 2. These could be anything. These are strings though. And if we print these, actually let's capitalize each one of these. 2, 3. We run these, Python will print them all with spaces in between, like this in the console. Now if we type in print, and we type in 1, whoops, let's see. 1 plus 2 plus 3. Python will run all of these together in one big run-on word. This is called string concatenation. And I think I misspelled that. Let's just call it, let's just abbreviate it. We can make it look like that other one, the top one row, line 1, by adding in some spaces. But where this really shines is if we wanted to, let's say count equals 43. This is some kind of student count maybe. And we'd say the total number was. We can print a string, and then we have an integer here. Now Python says, hey, when you want to print a string and an integer together, it needs to be a string. You can't just print an integer mixed with a string. So what we do is we tell Python, okay, fine, treat this as a string. But now watch this. Whenever we print this, it prints out the total number was. This is going to be the same every single time. But this might change in our program, right? It's set to a variable. And this variable can change, right? Let's take a look. Let's say count now equals 27. What do you think is going to happen here? Well, it shows us 27 because this was the most recent one. Our programs are executed from the top to the bottom. So it makes sense that if the last known variable was this, then that's what it's going to be. Or if we come down here and we say count equals 44. What do you think it's going to say now whenever we run it? It's still going to say 0 because at the time this was executed, this is executed linearly, like in other words, straight down, it's 0. So it prints 0. Doesn't matter that later it's changed to 44. Although if you did print this again, what is it going to say now? We should get two numbers now, right? 0 and 44. Now let's take a look at that line 1 again. Remember how we put the comma in there? We can run this. And you see how we have a kind of a double space. Using the comma automatically puts a space in. So now we don't need to make our own space. We can just rely on the implicit space put there by Python whenever we use the comma. And it's not that either one of these is right or wrong, at least for the purposes of our class. It's not right or wrong. It's just this is just giving you more tools for your toolbox so you can have more ways of doing something. And that's really all a program is. It's just a combination of commands that does whatever you want. And different people will write a program that maybe does the same thing, but in different ways, sometimes slightly different ways, and sometimes significantly different ways. In section, I believe it's 2.8, yeah, 2.8, more about data output. There's all kinds of escape characters. We won't go through them all here, but one thing you could do with an escape character is you can say, one of them is /t. It's where an escape character begins with a slash. And that, again, is covered in escape characters in 2.8. But if we run this, it'll print a tab. See the big space or the tab? Remember from Microsoft Word, if you hit the tab button, tabs over, right? Kind of modeled after the typewriter. There's other ones as well. There is If we want to print a literal slash, if you say, well, I want to have an actual slash in my output for some reason. Maybe you're typing in a path name on a hard drive, some folder name. Maybe that's what you're really wanting to type to the user. Well, Python's not going to let you do this because the slash means other things. It means it's used as an escape character. So if we type in a double slash, then it will. And notice how when it prints, it's just one slash. You can read more about that in section 2.8, but I thought I would just point it out and give you kind of an example of how it works here